We're here from Out of the Weeds headquarters, and today we're talking all about Winterizer Fertilizer, the last application of the season. And so with that, Amelia, what do you have to say?
Let's get out of the weeds.
Let's get out of the weeds. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me for yet another video. And it's a sad day today as we have our last application of the season with our Winterizer Fertilizer. So with that, with the Winterizer Fertilizer, how does it differ from your other fertilizer applications? Well, with the Winterizer Fertilizer, what we're actually looking to do is not use up the fertilizer in the lawn for this year, but to put it on the lawn to store it for over winter, so that when the springtime comes and the temperatures start to rise again and your lawn starts actively growing again, it gets that quick hit of the nitrogen and stuff that's already there available to it, and so your grass really takes off early in the spring. So now when determining what type of fertilizer to put down for your Winterizer application, normally I like to use an organic fertilizer as my last application of the year, just because it is naturally a slow release fertilizer. Anything organic is always going to be slower release than most of your synthetics. But they also do make synthetic fertilizers that are actually for Winterizer applications. So you can see here the one I'm actually going to use today. So I just found something different that I wanted to try out. And so you can actually see here fall turf food in a Winterizer. And if you look on here, it'll read slow release nitrogen for extended feeding. And so that's really what you're looking for with your Winterizer fertilizer, is you want something that's a little bit slower release. You don't want something that's going to just be a quick hit to your lawn, because what could happen is if all of a sudden we start getting some rain and a few days with some higher temperatures, well, what can end up happening is you can actually use up your nitrogen that you're storing into your lawn with this Winterizer fertilizer, and then you're kind of wasting it, and it's not really going to be there in the spring. And so what you want to do is wait till you're later in the season, where you try to get out of the higher temperatures like we are right now, and then also you want something that's slow release, so that way if it does start to warm up, or that it's not just hitting it all at once, wasting it here in the late fall going into winter. Instead, you want to save it for the spring when you're really going to need it beginning the year. And so before I get started into fertilizing, I wanted to give you guys a quick lawn update. We actually had our tree that was here removed and got this red bud put in its place. And so you can see it did a little bit of damage here. We had a root that was sticking up out of the ground, so we got that kind of cut out. So I will have a little work for me to do in the spring. But you can see here overall, got this nice new little tree here, and got the old one out of the way. The old one kept getting disease each year and would lose its leaves like right in the middle of the summer. So if you notice from any of my videos, the tree never really hardly has leaves on it, even when I was in the summer. So it was looking pretty bad for our property. So we got this one put in here, so hopefully this will do pretty good for us. Okay, so here's everything that I'm going to need to put down my fertilizer application today. This application is actually going to be a little bit different from the other fertilizer videos that I've done. Or earlier videos that I've done, I've used the Scott's seed spreader. It's real easy. You just kind of dial it in to the number on the back of the bag and just kind of fill up your hopper and go. With this type of a spreader, it's a little bit different. You can see here, I have numbers here on the side. And so you set the numbers to calibrate to what I need. I pull this back, and then in turn, it opens the little slots there. So you can see open, close, to however I set it here. So I can be a little bit more precise with the settings with this kind. But the thing with it is a lot of times it comes with a little bit more extra work with it, as in I have to actually be really precise with the amount of fertilizer I'm using. I don't just have a solid number that's on the back of this bag. So for example, I flip it over here, and none of these spreader settings listed here are actually accurate for the spreader that I'm using today. So you can see here, if you just have the Scott's one, 4.25. So you would just set the dial to the 4.25 and go. So starting looking at the bag, we see that it covers 10,000 square feet which is right about exactly what I have here for my entire yard. And so I need to make sure that I don't go too heavy in spots so that I have enough to cover my entire yard. So with this, doing some quick math here, we have 10,000 square feet and we have 32-pound bag. To use this entire bag on my lawn, for every 1,000 square feet of my lawn, I need to use 3.2 pounds. And so you can see the math's pretty easy on this one because the bag covers 10,000 square feet, but you can also see just on the back, 3.2 pounds per 1,000 square feet. And so you may be wondering, how do I know what's 1,000 square feet looks like to know that I'm putting 3.2 pounds on every one of those 1,000 square feet in your yard? Well, if you go and reference a video I did towards the very beginning of me starting the channel, it's about measuring your lawn. And what I do is I break down how to know what each section of your lawn is square foot wise so that you can put down proper fertilizer applications. So you can see here from this property map the breakdown of my yard by square footage for each area, equaling 10,000 total square feet. So once you know the square footage of each area, you can figure out exactly how much fertilizer you need for each area. For example, my backyard is 2,500 square feet. If I need 3.2 pounds per 1,000 square feet on my backyard, I'm going to need 8 pounds of fertilizer. I will then take my luggage scale and weigh the bucket empty to see exactly how much the bucket weighs by itself. From me weighing it here, the bucket weighs 1.8 pounds by itself. So if I need 8 pounds of fertilizer plus the bucket weighing 1.8 pounds, I need a total weight of 9.8 pounds to have the exact amount I need for just my backyard section. And so I will dump the fertilizer out and then weigh it with the luggage scale until I get roughly 9.8 pounds of fertilizer. You will then repeat this for each section of your lawn. And so I will set the dial here to a lower number than what I think it probably needs, start walking, and if I'm not really getting much fertilizer to come out, I will go to a little bit higher number, allowing more fertilizer to go until I find the proper number, and then I can keep it there. So now we're getting really close to the end of the season, and most of our lawns aren't really growing that much. And so for me, I'm probably only going to have one more mow to finish off this lawn season. So what I recommend whenever you're getting to your final mow or two of the season is start to take your lawn a little bit lower than normal. Cutting your lawn shorter will help to keep your lawn looking good early in the spring, and it'll also help to prevent some disease and stuff that you can get over the winter. And so I definitely recommend cutting your lawn short. Another thing is I don't really have any trees besides the new one on my property, but my neighbor does. And so you can see in my front lawn here, I have tons of leaves here. It is not good to leave them on your lawn over winter. Because it can cause all kinds of different problems with thinning your lawn, different disease. And so whenever you're taking your lawn down shorter to end the season, it'll also help to chop up some of those leaves that you may not have gotten from raking or picking them up or whatever. So I want to thank all of you who continue to watch my videos. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time when we get out of the weeds into a beautiful lawn.